Hey everyone, welcome to our channel. So in the previous video, we have learned how to do flourishes in 6 different ways with the letter B. So in this session, I'm going to continue the series of flourishing and we're going to explore how we can do flourishing in 6 different ways for letter C. So let's get started. So we're going to learn how to flourish letter C. For this tutorial, I'm going to be using Pentel touch sign brush pen. You can use any pointed pen or any brush pen that you're comfortable using and apply the similar rules of flourishing or apply a similar style of flourishing to this similar script. So, and we are also going to be using this grid paper where I'm going to be writing this, and I've already made these guidelines. You can use a grid paper. It's the best way to practice your letters. But as I mentioned earlier also in my previous videos, that before you jump onto flourishing, you make sure that you have the basic idea of letter forms, how the letter forms are created, and then do the flourishing. And if you're new to the channel, you can always go back and check out my basic tutorial, brush calligraphy tutorials, and come back to this and try flourishing. So before writing with the pen, I'm going to do a basic letter forms sketch. So that's our entry stroke, and that's a normal letter C. So this is our basic C. And in this, so for flourishing, we either can go from here in this area or this area. So entry stroke, I'm going to make a very simple C at the end of the letter. So instead of completing the stroke here, I'm going to take this forward and take the stroke in the upward direction like this. So very simple. So this one was first one, and let's look at the second one. So again, basic C stroke. Okay, for this one, we can extend the similar flourish, and we can just go around this area. So let's see, and make sure when you're practicing flourishing or doing flourishing, you're relaxed, your hand is relaxed on the table, and you're comfortably sitting and practicing and writing, so that flourishing needs a nice smooth flow when you do. So I'm just going to take this stroke from here to here and back to where it come from. Okay, so I'm going in the end of the tutorial, I'm going to explain how and where you can take it, and how the stroke goes. So for the third one, so I'm planning of extending the similar flourish at the end of the letter C. So that could go from from this, from here to maybe like this, or I can take this upward like this. So we're going to end the flourishing here itself. Okay. So it goes all the way upwards. So this is our third flourish. So I think it's little complicated, but once you start with the simple one, it becomes little easier to understand, where you want to extend your flourishing. Let's look at the fourth one. So another basic letter form of C, but here, now earlier we took the basic strokes, the flourishing from this side, from the end of this stroke, from this part of the letter C. Now we're going to apply the flourishing at the starting of the letter C, like the entry stroke. We're going to play around with the entry stroke a bit. So make sure your hand is relaxed, and you're free to go and touch the flourishing, make the flourishing so it looks graceful. So we're just gonna make some nice extended entry stroke like this, and I'm gonna keep the ending very simple. Okay, something like this, a very nice, beautiful entry stroke. Now we're gonna do something, on this side. So same thing again. Always make sure before doing flourishing, always plan out our flourishes with the pencil. So I'm just gonna add this nice loop to this part of the flourishing where this got ended, so it becomes a like very new flourish. Make sure these are not like very tiny, or it looks like some other letter. So I'm gonna first write this. So it's totally up to you, because this flourish is gonna come at the starting of the letter, so like at the starting of the word. So you can play around with it later on as well. So, but make sure that you go and touch back the entry part like this. Look how pretty it looks. It's really nice. And for the last one, we're gonna do some a little complex one. Let's say I'm thinking of taking the similar flourish, no flourish at the start, and I'm gonna take this and do this. So it's a little complicated. I want you to practice some nice hand movements when you do this kind of flourishing, so that all your strokes, looks graceful and beautiful. So let's do this one. Make sure your hand is well rested. And go slowly with the flow. And if you need, you can always add a little bit of downstroke thickness in the flourishing pressure, in the flourishing, so you get this nice contrast. If you don't want, you can also keep this thin, so it's totally all right. So after we are done, we're going to erase the pencil marks, so you can see how beautiful the flourishing looks. So I've roughly erased the pencil marks so I can show you. So as I mentioned in my previous videos as well, that what is flourishing? Flourishing is all about ovals. So you always have to imagine oval shapes in between the flourishes. Okay, so here at the letter C, as letter C is also an oval shaped letter. Okay, so we really have to be careful about the shape when we do flourishing. So like here in this part of the flourishing, this is quite a bigger flourish that is like capturing the letter C, but it looks very nice. And you also have to look for the angle that you're, whatever the angle of your letter is, make sure the flourishing angle is also similar. And this goes like this. So this part of the curve is also somewhere, gives the oval shape, something in the horizontal line, because this is going this way. And again, if you like join this back, it kind of becomes a nice oval shape. So you look here, so pretty nice oval shaped flourishes. And then another one here similar to this is also same. We have this nice big oval here. Okay, and then we have an oval here for this part of the curve, and then we have oval here. And then when we take this turn, make sure that turn is also somewhere forming that oval shape, because we don't want any kind of unclear or abrupt ending at the on the stroke. So, and then again similar, this is because this is similar stroke, we just have extended the stroke in different angle. So it went different directions. So here is this similar direction is going upwards, and then we took this stroke, we have one here oval, this is oval, and now we taken this back again. So even this counts as nice good flourish. So we have this, the ending part, that is also like an oval. So you can see how many ovals are between one letter, and it really matters because to have a good balanced flourish. This is a very simple one and a very cute one. So again, here also we have this beautiful oval. So, nice oval shape. And again, over here, this we already have, that is one oval. And inside this loop, we again have another oval. And then at the end also, it kind of, gives an oval shaped ending. So, and for the last one, we have again quite a few ovals in this, like an imaginary ovals. One is this one big one because this is somewhere similar to this one. So this flourish is most probably like an extension of this flourish. Okay. So here we made a loop and we just take a stroke outside like this. So again, very big oval, one, and then here two, three. I think it's little wobbly here, but we can keep trying and practicing and we'll get better. So yeah, that's one. And then when we go downwards, this is again another oval, and this loop should also be somewhere like like an oval loop. And then again this part, so this is like also one big oval, and this. So always make sure that you're considering ovals when you're practicing flourishes. So this is letter C, and I hope you loved all of them. And as I mentioned earlier, please do practice basic letter form first if you're new or you're a beginner to calligraphy, and then try flourishes. And that's our 6 different ways of flourishing letter C. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial, and if you do try these, do share it with us on Instagram. Do like, share, and subscribe to our channel if you like this tutorial. Do drop us a comment if you like it, or anything that you would like to learn, or any suggestion on what you would like to learn next. So we'll be happy to help, and so I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. Thank you for watching. See you next week.